The following is an ABC Sports presentation. See the greatest sporting event in the world, the Summer Olympics from Mexico City on ABC. Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Desenex and Desenex Aerosol, the spray-on powder that instantly soothes, cools, and comforts hot, tired feet. By the makers of Dutch Boy paints. If there's quality on the inside, there's a Dutch Boy on the outside. And by John Hancock. If anybody can design a life insurance plan that's right for you, it's probably us.
From the Cow Palace in San Francisco, California, ABC Sports presents a 10-round heavyweight fight between Sonny Liston of Las Vegas, Nevada, and Henry Clark of San Francisco, live and in color on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. With me to work this fight today at ringside is the renowned diminutive fight manager who has already led Jimmy Ellis to the WBA version of the heavyweight crown, Angelo Dundee. And Angie, very quickly, what are the two issues as you see them in this Liston-Clark fight?
Well, Howard, the thing is, going to see tonight how much Liston's got left. See how this Henry Clark kid, if he can live with Liston. I see a very tough fight. It's going to be a late-round fight.
Whom do you pick to win it?
I like Henry Clark on a TKO around 8th, 9th round.
Well, that's pretty direct. Incidentally, a preliminary going on just to our left with that very quick scene set. Let's take a look at Charles Sonny Liston on the night that he won the heavyweight championship of the world. It was September 25, 1962 at what was then known as Comiskey Park, Chicago, the first of two fights between Patterson and Liston for the heavyweight championship of the world. Patterson playing Liston's game, not moving at all. Liston's blows ponderous in their impact, the hands much quicker than people really believed possible. Patterson was a sitting duck in this fight. You saw him just staggered by a left. Now he's helpless against the ropes as Liston flails away with a right and a left. And Patterson is to be counted out. The time, 2 minutes and 11 seconds, the first round. Sonny Liston had become the heavyweight champion of the world. There is Sonny Liston in training for a fight now against a man much younger, Henry Clark, age 23. Sonny Liston desperately dreaming of again becoming the champion. The odds seemingly overwhelmingly against him. He's in Las Vegas, Nevada now. That's his hometown. It's a long way from Lewiston, Maine to Las Vegas, and Sonny always did like to play the tables. Some said he trained for the second Patterson fight at those tables. He lives here at the Stardust Golf Club. Doesn't play golf, lives just off the course, rides the course frequently. A back view of his lavish home, there's the front. $85,000 it's supposed to have cost, and Sonny owns 2 Cadillacs. He's got a lush home, lovely swimming pool. Not bad for a guy who lost one fight sitting on a stool and another when he was felled in the first by a seemingly invisible punch. He does like kids, that's why those swings were there. And he loves to fish. Fishes often up at Lake Mead, Nevada, with one of his best friends to this day, the former heavyweight champion Joe Louis. And that's where the fishing is done. Right now, he's in training for this battle against Clark. He's giving it all he's got. And he has trained probably harder for this fight by far than for any other fight in his recent comeback campaign. Running every morning, punching every afternoon? It remains to be seen whether or not his training regimen has enabled him to develop enough stamina to last against a younger opponent, if last he must, if he can't do away with Clark in a hurry. Tree chopping is part of the campaign. I remember once another big part of it was his then trainer, Willie Reddish, throwing the big medicine ball into the belly, with Liston not even grunting and the crowd oohing and awing in disbelief because of his tremendous strength. Well, that's where he trains, the new Oakland gym. It's right above that dime-a-dance place. He's been training this fight to be held, as you know, right here in the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Liston was always great with the heavy bag. That's to develop strength, hands and the wrists and the arms. He was great with the light bag, too, where you have to develop speed. Sonny now working out with a sparring partner, and incidentally, Liston has denied vigorously the published stories to the effect that a sparring partner, Mac Foster, knocked him out in a recent session. These tight shots reflect what it's like to be facing Liston. That's his manager, Dick Sadler. In effect here, you're getting a prism shot of what it might be like if you were struck by Liston, possibly the old Liston. It remains to be seen what it would be like to be struck by the present Liston. Clark will show us that. Well, Sonny Liston will be back in a moment.
Retire and travel. See Spain. Settle down on a tropical beach. Live on a shoestring. Before you start believing those posters, you'd better do some hard thinking about your day in and day out living expenses. A John Hancock man can show you what it costs to retire. He'll sit down with you and figure out what you'll need and what you won't need. He'll show you how a good life insurance plan can be a good retirement plan, too. It could be a new kind of plan in which the dividends are plowed back in to pay for an expanded amount of insurance. It could be something else. But if anybody in this life insurance business can design the right plan for you, it's probably us.
John Hancock, huh?
This is Henry Clark, age 23, who runs 8 miles every day of his life, getting up at 4 in the morning to do it, who dreams of becoming one day the heavyweight champion of the world, and who dreams of using Liston, the former champion, as a stepping stone. Henry Clark in the gym is good to watch. He is quick with the hands. He is quick with the feet. You see him on the right, in the blue trunks. And note that he fights inside. He is an effective body puncher, and watch for that in the fight against Liston. He is a homegrown favorite, a native San Franciscan, and the folks come out to see him. He has fought 21 times professionally. He has lost but 3. However, he has scored only 2 knockouts. Works the light bag to swiffen those hands. This is where he works when he's not fighting for the American Can Company. He takes home a little more than $100 a week. His job, loading and packing heavy machinery and equipment for shipment overseas. The streets of San Francisco are his haven. And that apartment building is where he lives, together with his wife, Memphis, and their 28-month-old child. But for Henry Clark, as he runs the beaches, there is the dream that Liston will go, and after that, who knows? Frazier Ellis. This is what he thinks about as he works in the gym and talks to himself.
A square. Bring me a pair.
Inevitably, there is the rope jumping and skipping, swipping the legs, swipping the feet, gain the agility and the stamina for what may be a long fight. 10 rounds it could go, unless he can put away Liston early, as Liston figures he in turn will do to Clark. Always he is thinking about the job at hand. Boxing, loading the equipment, and running. Henry Clark, and we'll be back in a moment.
In this commercial, watch what doesn't happen. Back in 1961, this house, which had to be repainted almost every year, was painted with Dutch Boy latex house paint. Years later, we ran this ad that said, "We're still waiting for the first blister." Today, it's almost 7 years since the house was painted, and we're still waiting for the first blister. Nearly 7 years of tough New England weather. The paint hasn't dulled or chopped, peeled or cracked, or blistered. The Dutch Boy latex house paint still looks beautiful nearly 7 years later. Paint your house with Dutch Boy and watch what doesn't happen.
If there's quality on the inside, there's a Dutch Boy on the outside.
In October, watch the Summer Olympic Games, exclusively live and in color from Mexico City on ABC.
This is Howard Cosell back at ringside along with Angelo Dundee. You're gazing at Ring Center now here in the Cow Palace. We've got a 6-round preliminary about to come up. The opponents, Harold Dutra against Jimmy Gilmore. Harold Dutra is in the black trunks with the white stripes. Jimmy Gilmore is in the same black trunks, really, with the white stripes. Jimmy Gilmore is a Negro, and Harold Dutra is white. Dutra is 23 years old, out of San Francisco, weighs 197 pounds. He is a crude banger. He has scored 9 straight KOs. Supposed to be a tough puncher. He is 9-1 on his career. His manager is Bob Caparoli. Jimmy Gilmore is supposed to be a pretty good boxer. He is 8-1 on his career, 25 years of age, 220 pounds. He has scored 4 knockouts, and round 1 is on.
I didn't even start a watch, actually.
Dutra was jarred by that quick left a few seconds ago.
Dutra is a good banger, but his chin is suspect because he got wobbled with that left hook.
Remember, that's Angelo Dundee, Jimmy Ellis's manager, whom you'll be listening to, working alongside of this reporter at ringside throughout the afternoon. And rolls of fat, Angie.
What I like about these two fellas, what they lack. And there goes that suspect chin, Howard.
Yes, the left set Dutra up for a potential fall, then a right, but he didn't go down, and Gilmore couldn't follow through.
That Dutra's a real exciting fella.
Good exchange. 1 minute to go in the first round of this 6-round preliminary. Harold Dutra against Jimmy Gilmore.
Howard, we can safely predict this won't go to rout.
That's an awful lot of flesh Gilmore lays over Dutra. It may wear him down. Good right. Another one. Left, right. Oof. And a good left by Gilmore.
Lou the Toe Groza is the highest scorer in the history of pro football. Lou has kicked over 250 field goals and more than 800 points after touchdown. Since 1946, the Toe has scored over 1,600 points. All without lifting a finger. Lou takes good care of his feet. That's why he depends on Desinex. Soothing, cooling Desinex helps protect the toe's feet against the itchy, burning, and cracking of athlete's foot. And after all these years, when it comes to Desinex, Lou the Toe has no kicks. Desinex, on every team in the National Football League.
Back for round two, six-round preliminary. Harold Dutra against Jimmy Gilmore, both fighters in black trunks with white stripes, and let's hit it directly. Gilmore just leveled the left. He is black, and Dutra is white. Coming up shortly, the main event, Sonny Liston against young Hank Clark.
I defy the experts in this fight to pick a winner because right now it's anybody's ball game.
First round was action-packed, as you saw. Blood coming out of Dutra's left nostril at this point. Right lead did not score any damage then by Dutra. Gilmore carries so much weight, Angelo Dundee, I don't think he'll be able to last for an early prediction.
Well, that is what's unique. Gilmore is the more agile guy between the two of them. He's the bigger one. He's more agile, he has more ability, and he's slipping punches better and everything else. Dutra's the rough one.
Gilmore looks a little like Buster Mathis did before all those steam baths. After that first round, both fighters have slackened some in this round. Dutra was hurt a little bit. You may hear Gilmore's man in the corner advising Gilmore that he's got him hurt a little bit. And get on him, both hands. That's the exhortation.
That's it, look, that's it. That's the one. Right back, right back.
That last punch was the best punch of the fight. Left hook to the body.
Come on, pull from.
Again, Angelo Dundee, Jimmy Ellis's manager.
That's it.
Called by many the shrewdest man in boxing, is the other voice working with this reporter at ringside.
That's it.
You can see how fatigued Dutra presently is, not just from the miss and the loss of balance.
Well, all those headshots didn't mean nothing, but that left hook that Gilmore threw to the short ribs.
What in the world is so good about Super Shell? I mean, there are four mileage. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
No, tell me.
A hidden camera is filming customers at a Shell station. Let's find out a few reasons why people buy Super Shell.
How do you know you get good mileage with Super Shell?
And the car runs better. Don't forget, starts better, everything.
Well, the way the car runs, it runs on it. I can't complain. I get good mileage on it. You don't even know what plaque bromate is.
What do I care what platform 8 is?
I've been using Shell all the time, see? Shell is about as good a gas for Super Shell as I find.
Why did you turn in here and not over there?
Tell you the truth, because I would have had to cross over the double line, and this one was closer.
I guess we can't win them all. Get Super Shell, good mileage gasoline at this sign.
Round 3, Harold Dutra, Jimmy Gilmore. 6-round preliminary, Liston against Clark coming up shortly. Dutra, the white athlete, Gilmore, the black athlete. Gilmore coming in supposedly at 225, but more realistically at 250. Dutra coming back now. Staggered Gilmore. Got him again with the right. Now Dutra is measuring him. Got him in trouble.
I can see why the fans like this Dutra. He really gives us everything he's got and puts everything behind every punch.
I can tell you that Gilmore's eyes are glazed at this moment. He is leading with the left out of instinct. Dutra had a chance to finish him, Angelo, but didn't do it.
Best punch he's got is his left hook. He actually slaps with that right hand. Right hand to the body is a very good punch.
Six-round preliminary. This is round 3. Dutra against Gilmore. Liston against Clark. Only moments away. Fight is directly above us and both tired at this moment.
Whichever tank runs dry, Howard, that's the one's going to be the loser.
There are about 20 seconds to go in this third round.
It's a very good rule, Howard. When the mouthpiece drops out, the referee calls time and they watch the mouthpiece out.
Well, that's the end of the round. We'll be back in a moment on ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this word from our local stations.
The FBI seeks evidence against the Mafia in tomorrow's drama on ABC.
The eye. Blood over the right eye. The left did it at the very end of the round.
About 15, Jeff. About 10.
Back for round 4, Harold Dutra against Jimmy Gilmore. They patched up a cut over Dutra's right eye between the rounds. Scored with a left by Gilmore just as the round was about to end. Dutra is bleeding again. It appears to be the right nostril this time, Angelo.
No, he's bleeding from the mouth. There he goes again. He just got hit again.
Left hook again. Left hook. Left hook again. That's it.
Right uppercut did it, Howard.
Come on, right after him. Body. Left hook. Left hook. That's it.
I trust you can clearly hear from the corner, right next to me, Gilmore's man saying, that's it. Rip it up when I tell you. That's it.
Rip it up, rip it up, rip it up. Right here now.
2 minutes to go in this, the fourth round.
Rip it up, rip it up, rip it right here now.
You see that beef push him around, Angie?
Yeah, there's two very tired youngsters.
Come on, let's hook behind.
Angelo Dundee, the man working at ringside with this report. A good left to the left jaw of Dutra, and a very tired Dutra at the moment.
Rip it up, rip it up. Rip it up, rip it up. That's it.
Oh, the nose is bleeding now, too, Angelo.
Yes, he's bleeding all. His nose is badly bleeding, and his mouth also.
That's it.
And like I said before, the gas tank is running completely dry.
Come on, body. Body, left hook. Upstairs. Bring it up inside. Bring it up inside. Come on. There he is. That's it. Take it out. That's it. Take it out again. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Get there and do that. That's all you gotta do. Get there and do that. Come on.
We're getting a running commentary from Jimmy Gilmore's corner. Both fighters in black trunks with white stripes. Gilmore, the black athlete, and Dutra, the white athlete.
Got a punch in there.
That's the end of the round. And remember, coming to you live and in color on ABC's Wide World of Sports, it'll be Sonny Liston against 23-year-old Henry Clark in just a few minutes. The key issues, as Angie Dundee put them just a few moments ago at the top of the show. How much has Liston got left? Does he retain any vestige of the ponderous power that he once possessed? How good is young Henry Clark? That's what the fight between those two will really be all about. And while you're looking at the moment at Harold Dutra, who needs some patching because he's been bleeding from the mouth and from the nose, and who earlier got a cut over the right eye, now Jimmy Gilmore, I would remark that this ring is surprisingly small and should favor Liston, Angie. It's only 15.5 feet by your own measurement.
Oh, yes, that's a Liston ring by all means, and it looks like it's going to be favoring him all the way, because a larger ring would be better for the younger fighter.
All right, we go back to Dutra and Gilmore. But remember that, if you will, the size of the ring.
This Gilmore's an amazing big kid. I'm amazed how agile he is. But he goes 250.
That's all you gotta do. Not good.
Buster Mathis has continually amazed people. A good left, rocking Dutra back with his agility.
Well, he's hurt. The next...
He's in real trouble. Dutra's in real trouble. Let's make it clear, Angie, that we're not likening Gilmore to Mathis in skill, but only in terms of the general physical agility for men of similar stature. Or at once, Mathis did look like Gilmore does now.
Well, it's remarkable that this kid has a lot of ability. I'm very impressed by this kid.
Oh, Dutra is really set up for the kill now. Down goes Dutra. Fight is being stopped by the referee. Gilmore declared the winner by a knockout in the 5th round.
It's what happened out there, Harold. The guy ran out of gas, and this kid took advantage of it. And I'm surprised he didn't go tired himself as big as he is.
That's an awful lot of beef to throw against a much smaller man, and I have to feel that the body pinioned against Dutra's body as often as it was took some of the starch out of Dutra.
Oh, definitely. That weight, pushing that weight around, having that weight lay on you, that takes a lot out of you. And this is something that, well, we'll see in the Liston fight also, you know. Laying on the other fellow may sap the other fellow's strength.
135 of the 5th round, James Gilmore.
The official announcement just heard by you by Sammy Stein. And coming up, Sonny Liston and Henry Clark. All right, scene on the ring. Coming up, Liston against Clark. We'll be back in a moment.
Thinking about yesterday may be easier than thinking ahead. But if you don't think ahead, you may mess up two things, today and tomorrow. Protecting their today without neglecting your tomorrow is what Prudential's two-way protection is all about. It provides a family income if anything happens to you, or retirement income you can't outlive. Sounds expensive, but your Prudential man will prove otherwise. Prudential understands.
Well, as you can see, we're back at ringside. Angelo Dundee and myself awaiting the entrance into the ring area of Sonny Liston and Henry Clark in the main event today. And let's make it very clear that we're not going to make anything out of this bout that it's not. It's not a championship bout. It is, as we remarked at the top of the show, a traditional bout in the boxing sense. The old fighter hoping to recapture someday his championship. The young fighter moving upward, now rated number 5 in all the heavyweight ratings, dreaming of using the former champion as a stepping stone. Angie, I think we should discuss the California scoring system because in past fights it's proved so terribly controversial.
Well, I'm going to be scoring it actually with the California system. In other words, well, how they score out here is if a fellow wins a round, he gets 1 point, the loser gets nothing. Get high is up to 5 points. But I don't see anybody getting 5-point rounds unless the fight is over completely.
It's never happened in the history of the state.
It shouldn't happen. I mean, I feel if a fella gets a knockdown in the round, should get 2 points. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to score at California.
All right. The California scoring system, if a fighter wins the round, he could get from 1 to 5 points. If a fighter loses a round, he gets no points. The fighter rarely, if ever, gets more than 2, although in a Patterson-Quarry bout in Los Angeles, Quarry was given 3 by one judge for a flash knockdown in the 4th round. A fighter can win more rounds than he loses in California, but still lose the fight because the other fighter has amassed more points under this point-scoring system. If a round is even, neither fighter gets any points. Now, we do have the mandatory 8 count today, but we have an interesting twist. A man can be losing the fight heavily and win it after the bell for the final or 10th round. Explain that, Angie.
Well, if a fella's down at the final round, the count continues, even though it's the last round. The bell rings and the fella keeps counting. They can count 10. The fella was knocked out is the loser. The man standing upright is the winner. In other words, there's no 3 knockdown rule here. You can be knocked down as many times as you wish. The discretion of the referee.
Okay. Now, Henry Clark. He used to fight a little like Muhammad Ali when he began. He does it now. He fights to the inside. Is this good against Liston?
Well, this kind of a style with the Liston of old couldn't live with Liston because he ate up that style. It was proven with Patterson. Anybody that bows down to Liston gets knocked out. Now, the interesting thing is this Liston of today is what I want to see. I want to see what Father Time has taken out of the guy. Now, what I noticed about Clark, I watched him in training for about 10 days while I was here with Jimmy Ellis in Oakland. And this guy, he's the worst gym fighter I ever saw, Howard.
Okay, Angie. Well, earlier in the telecast, you saw both fighters, and over the years, you have doubtless come to know Sonny Liston. We've been talking about Henry Clark. Let's meet this rising, but still relatively unknown youngster, age 23, Henry Clark. Liston used to terrify opponents in the ring right before the fight with a baleful stare. He'll try the same tactic on you. You got any fear of this man?
No, I don't fear Liston or no other man, for that matter. I think if I fear a guy, I'd say train a little harder for him and maybe box an extra round or maybe even run an extra mile. And I think I've given Liston his due respect in doing, say, a hard day's work in the gym.
You continue to predict that you'll knock him out?
Yes, I think I'll knock him out. I won't say go to challenge, say I go right out and say slug with this guy because he's a pretty good puncher, and I respect him because of it. But say at my style or on my terms, I say I'll knock Liston out.
How do you square that prediction with the fact that in 21 fights you've only registered 3 KOs?
Well, I'll tell you, out of the 21 fights that I had, 17 of the opponents went down in the first round. But by me not being the aggressive fighter, somewhat with the killer instinct, I say I didn't knock the opponents out. But with Liston, I'm in top shape. I've never been in this condition in my life, say, for a fight. And I think I'll have a pretty good chance of knocking him out even earlier.
Now, in one of your prior answers, you mentioned the word style. Describe your style to our viewers.
Well, I changed my style according to the opponent that I fight. Liston is a very aggressive fighter. I like to fight aggressive fighter, maybe like a Frazier or Liston. These guys never stop coming. And then, say, with their aggressiveness, they leave themselves open to be knocked out with the hopes of knocking another man out. And I think I'll have an easy go with Liston.
Well, I understand you're saying that, but how will you fight the fight? On the inside, body punching?
Well, I'll be, say, inside with body punches. I'll be, say, moving from side to side, but at no time will I ever move back because I move back from no one now. Because I think a forward style is, say, the best style I have in boxing.
One last question. You began your career emulating Muhammad Ali in style. Any traces of that left?
No, there isn't any traces of that left. I tell you, I think Muhammad Ali is one of the, say, greater fighters that we've had in all times. And at the beginning of my career, I wanted, say, publicity. And to get publicity, you do anything. And this was one of the ways to get publicity. And that way I fought, say, someone like a Muhammad Ali. I never got hit, say, shots because I was always moving and dancing. And this was a nice thing to do, I guess.
But it's changed. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you very much, Howard.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
Why do so many barbers put Vitalis on so many heads? Well, first of all, Vitalis has no grease, not one drop. And Vitalis spreads. It spreads through all your hair to make it look clean and neat, not stiff or greasy. In fact, of all leading hair grooms, Vitalis is the only one that has no grease. No wonder so many barbers put Vitalis on so many heads. Vitalis has no grease, liquid or concentrate.
Bellhop? Yes, sir? Do you know which guest forgot his band spray deodorant?
No, sir, but don't worry. He should be easy to find.
Band will wear out as the day wears on.
Sir?
Back at ringside, and young Henry Clark has just come into the ring wearing, as you can see, a black robe. And looking so very much, in terms of bone construction, like Muhammad Ali, whom he confessed he once emulated. The roars of the crowd in the background, the former heavyweight champion of the world is coming down. Charles Sonny Liston will be entering the ring in a moment without the birth certificate that he's been carrying all over town. The birth certificate that says he is 36. Sammy Stein is the ring announcer. He'll be introducing the participants. The referee will be Frank Carter of San Francisco. The judges, Jack Downey and Jack Silver, also of San Francisco. The timekeeper, Emmett Stevens. All right, the noise of the crowd. Liston in there, wrapped up in his towel with robes underneath it and the hood. Old-fashioned style. He'll have the baleful, sinister look, you can be sure. Whether or not he's got the old skills remains to be seen. He'll have to prove that. Angelo Dundee, please quickly explain why Liston pads himself up under the robe that way.
Well, this is an image he used to project when he was licking everybody, knocking
Main
everybody
event,
out. He wanted
10 rounds. Introducing in the weighing 219 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada, seeking to regain recognition in the heavyweight spotlight, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston at 219 pounds. Now the introduction of...
In the blue corner, from San Francisco, California, weighing 215 pounds, the fifth-ranked heavyweight in the world, California's heavyweight champion, Henry Clark.
Henry Clark is 215. When they get in the middle of the ring for the instructions, let's watch Liston to see if he's still got that stare. Angie Dundee was telling you before he gave way to Sammy Stein, the ring announcer, that Liston would pad himself up for psychological impact against the adversary. That was in the old days. Now watch Liston. What you're seeing is a kind of repeat of what happened in February 1964 and May of 65. Liston trying to stare Clark down the way he tried to stare Ali down, and he didn't get away with it, did he, Angie?
No, Clark wouldn't stand for it, and he actually walked away from it.
Round one.
Clark has come to fight, Howard.
Well, we'll see if it's the right style against Liston. Liston's best punch has always been the left jab. Used to look 10 feet long. Tremendous power. Don't misunderstand, he had a good right, too. Liston in the white trunks, Clark in the black trunks. Round one. The first time Liston has been seen by this whole nation since Dominic's Arena, Lewiston, Maine, May 25, 1965. And he wasn't seen long. Liston keeps coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. His style hasn't changed at all. There's about a minute to go in round one. And I must say, Angelo, that Liston's belly looks trim.
Liston looks like he's in real good shape, and he's starting out at a real fast pace. And this is where Clark has to live with him to become successful against him.
Liston is getting to him steadily.
It's a real good Liston round, Howard.
The end of round one. All right, you're looking at Henry Clark's record, 15-3, 2-2. 2 no decisions, 2 draws. A good round for Sonny Liston, as Angelo Dundee, my confrere at ringside, noted. A very good round for Liston. Clark sitting directly above us, being worked on now by his people. In Clark's corner, Joe Herman, his manager, Enoch Yip, and Richard Clark, his 20-year-old brother, who's a basketball star. In Liston's corner, of course, his manager, Dick Sadler, Alan Moore, and Johnny Natchez. And I think the key question here is whether or not Clark's style is a sensible one against the ponderous power of Liston.
Carried the play real good that time, Clark. Clark's going to have to change his style of fighting or he's going to take a man-sized licking because he's waiting for Liston to come to him. He's waiting on a dime, and Liston will get to him that way.
This is round 2, just underway. Those of you who remember the manner in which Muhammad Ali fought Liston, because he was the guy who beat him twice, it was by circling steadily and swiftly to the left and avoiding that Liston left jab. There was the left jab into the high midriff. He hurt Clark then with a left.
Clark has got to start moving on this fella. He's going to take a real bad licking. He's got to keep moving and stay busy. Otherwise, he's just going to catch punches all night long.
At home, you can see that Liston left. Coming. Liston forcing the fight steadily. He's forced it from the opening bell. Somebody is yelling at Clark, show that he's not afraid. He's not afraid. With a minute to go in the second round, we repeat, the question is one of style. You fight Liston's fight when you fight the way Clark is now fighting.
The longer the fight goes, Howard, the better for this kid. But he's starting to move a little bit because he realizes he can't stay right there on a dime with Liston. Liston's too strong.
Two good, strong left jabs by Liston. Another left, that one not as strong.
And Henry takes some punch, Howard. That was 2 good shots. He got a left hook and right hand.
See the clock counting down for the end of the second round. 10 seconds.
A truly great lady knows the importance of this phrase. Now repeat after me. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Oh, great Scott. No. Now, once more, please.
When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
That's more like it. Quality never comes easy. Schlitz is most carefully brewed for flavor, gusto, and aroma, with absolutely no trace of beer bite. This is pure beer. This is Schlitz.
If you like it light with a big taste too, there's only one brew that will do.
Good show.
When you're out of Schlitz,
Outrageous.
you're out of beer. Schlitz.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Round 3, clock was up with 20 seconds remaining before the start of the third round, just to show Liston he's still strong. Liston was huffing and puffing a little in the corner between the rounds. Liston is missing a lot of punches too, Angelo.
Yeah, but that jab is getting in there. When this fellow jab is working, he's a real destructive fighter. Clark must start throwing leather, Howard, or he's not going to be in there.
You fight your fight here and forget about the rest of them. Come on.
Frank Carter, by the way, again the referee.
Stick him, Henry. Stick him, Henry. No, Henry. Stick with him. Right cross, Henry. Right cross, Henry.
Clark can stay away and then fight in flurries and make Liston miss. As the rounds pass, Liston could be in difficulty.
Get away!
Liston really leveled him to the head with a flurry of blows there, as you saw.
Right cross, Henry. Punch out of there. Right cross. Punch out of there. Stick! No, Henry.
That shot really hurt me right up.
Clark was really hurt and he was just staggered. This could be the end. Clark comes back punching, but he went halfway through the ropes, as you saw, or quarter way.
Stay right in there. That's it. Back of him. Back of him.
Clark is fighting on youth and courage at the moment, Angie.
Yes, he's taking all the shots that Liston's got to offer. He's staying right in there taking them. He shouldn't be in there.
Clark is running out, and this is the third round. Liston the white trunks, Clark the black trunks. The fight thus far decisively Sonny Liston's.
There goes that youth, Howard. The longer this fight goes, Howard, the better this kid's going to get if he's still upright.
The end of round 3, and we have here, I must report, what Angelo Dundee calls a ding-a-ling bell. Very hard to hear. Clark was able to survive Liston's heaviest blows that round. He came back with a late round flurry of his own, as you saw, that didn't do a lot of damage, except for the fact that it showed Liston that this young man will be very difficult to knock out.
Takes an amazing punch. I thought he was out when he was over in his own corner. Now, if the longer he goes on, the tougher it's going to get for Liston, because Liston's showing a little slight wear and tear in there. And Liston will blow up if this kid stays in there. The longer he stays in, the better for Henry Clark.
One knows that Liston is Liston's record you just saw. He has won 29 fights, lost only 3, 2 to Muhammad Ali, 1 to Marty Marshall, no draws, 29 knockouts. One knows that Liston faces a stamina problem. One has to wonder why so young a man as Clark would keep coming at Liston rather than staying away to wear the opponent down. Right lead to the stomach, the follow with the left by Clark, which did not really connect. But Clark fighting differently this round, Angelo.
Well, he's doing better than he did before by laying in there and take punches. He must take the play. He must be aggressive with him now. Liston looking to conserve his strength, Howard. Right now, he's laying back, and he's not looking to throw too much leather himself.
Punch him out!
Remember, Henry Clark has knocked out only 2 men in 21 fights. However, he has floored 17 opponents in the very first round.
Good left hook. Another one.
Clark's best flurry of the fight. That was a slapping right, really, that Clark connected against Liston. Now Clark is the aggressor. He buffeted Liston against those ropes and took command, but Liston now has Clark in the corner directly above us. Sonny is fighting. A strong, strong man, that Liston, to this day.
Clark's taking an amazing punch. He continues to surprise me because he's getting hit real good punches right on his chin.
Hurt.
10 seconds, come on.
There goes that Liston jab, Howard. Clark has a swelling over his left eye.
More coffee, darling?
No, thanks.
Robert? Robert, darling.
Ellen, never interrupt an L&M smoker.
But, Robert...
When I light up an L&M, I don't want to be interrupted.
But there's...
I want to stay with it because L&M's balanced blend gives good taste from end to end.
But, Robert, there's a big black bear.
Ellen, darling, never interrupt an L&M smoker. Like I said, never interrupt an L&M smoker.
When you light up an L&M, you want to stay with it because L&M's balanced blend gives good taste from end to end.
Never interrupt an L&M smoker.
L&M Kings and Golden Hundreds.
We're back in the Cow Palace in San Francisco, round 5. Clark in the black trunks, Liston in the white. Thus far, a very one-sided fight. Angelo Dundee scoring most unofficially, as you know, but most knowledgeably, has Liston ahead, 4 points to none, giving Liston each and every round. Liston measures with that left.
Those shots in the body might be taking their toll on Liston because I noticed he's reaching for him. And the referee just warned him about those body punches. Clark's giving him a little bit of movement now. He should have been doing this right along. It's necessary giving Liston movement. He had that abrasion at the end of the round. There goes Liston's jab. I love to watch him when he jabs. I think he has a beautiful jab.
This is the 5th round. Liston against Clark. Clark in the black trunks, Liston in the white. important step in Liston's comeback campaign thus far. He's beaten a bunch of ham and eggers leading up to this fight. Only seconds to go in this round. We'll be back in a moment on ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this word from our local station.
Henry Fonda and Janice Rule star on the Sunday night movie on ABC.
Hey, Yipper, what are you doing? Give me the bucket.
We go to round 6, Liston against Clark. Liston in white, Clark in black of a thus far very one-sided fight, with Clark doing little and not showing very much in perfect candor. Not meant critically, just stating what's happened.
I think that Liston around this time is wondering what's keeping this kid up, because he got that quizzical look on his face, wondering every time I hit him a shot, he should go down, but he's not going down. He has a tremendous chin clock. But you don't win fights by taking a good punch. You got to throw leather, and that's what he's not doing right now.
Just re-identifying Jimmy Ellis's manager, Angelo Dundee, as my colleague at ringside. Angie has it, Liston 5 points, Clark none, giving Liston all 5 rounds up till now.
I don't know. He should.
If Liston goes on to win this fight, he will then be seeking a fight against a top-rated adversary, if not a championship bout, which he won't get immediately. What would you predict for him?
Oh, this will definitely project him into the heavyweight division real big now, because Clark in his last fight did beat Leota Martin, a very good fighter. Now, I'm always a believer of this. The ball game's not over yet.
We have 1.5 minutes to go in the 6th round. It is a 10-round fight.
Something new has been added to the Clark repertoire. He's jabbing for the first time. I should have been doing that a long time ago. He's throwing a lot of feints.
Good right. Good right by Clark.
Left hand's doing a job right now.
Move, move. Punch and move. Punch and move.
That was a good right hand by Liston.
It sure was.
That put the staggers in there.
Move, Henry.
Clark was in trouble momentarily.
He's hurt now. He's hurt.
Move, get out of there.
He is hurt. He's rubbery-legged. His eyes are glazed. Let's see if Liston can do the job.
Move out of there.
The corner is yelling to Clark to move, as you heard, but there's not that much movement left in him at the moment. The task is now Liston's to see if he's got enough left in him to finish.
Here, Henry.
The end of round 6, and I guess you got to rack that up for Liston. And let's take a little look at slow motion, Angie. Now watch this, Angie.
It's remarkable this kid's still erect.
Now, Clark missing. There's that Liston jab, got in there. And the
Good
right.
right.
And you could see the pain register in Clark's face. Clark now getting instructions in his corner. Henry Clark, who's only 23. Henry Clark, who decisively defeated Manuel Ramos on a bout he took on just 1 day's notice, and beat a toughie in Leotis Martin, as Angelo Dundee mentioned a moment or two ago. We're in round 7 now. The burly Liston still pursuing. Of course, Sonny has said repeatedly that if he lost this fight to young Clark, he would retire. But he's built up an awesome lead now.
That's it.
One would have to say that Clark would have to knock Liston out to win this bout at this point.
Oh,
Angel.
definitely. He's got to go real big. He's only got 4 rounds to do it, and he needs real big rounds. Because I got him way out, way behind.
Pull it out of there.
He's trying.
Stay on him. Stay on him.
Corner is yelling to
Jab first.
Clark to stay on him.
Jab first, Henry.
It's a tremendous show of courage on Clark's part. I'm amazed he's still standing.
Although it might not show in the scoring of the bout, Angelo. And without any desire or attempt to take credit away from Liston, perhaps his failure to finish Clark off shows that he has slipped measurably. What would you say?
Oh, definitely, because if he had another foul like that in that position, he would have got him out of there.
Punch out of
But this kid's still erect.
This is the 7th round. Both fighters said that this fight would not go past the 7th round, and we've got a minute to
Clark
go.
is badly hurt.
Clark
He
is
got hurt
really
with that
hurt.
left hook. He got hurt near the ropes. Looks like the end of the ball game, Howard. He's definitely hurt.
If it ends here, Liston has made his prediction stand up because at the moment Clark is a punching bag for him, but now Clark backs off.
Jab. Jab first. Punch both hands.
It is incredible, really incredible that Clark is still standing up there. He is taking some beating. This is it. Referee Frank Carter has stopped the fight. Liston's prediction stands up. Liston is declared the winner by a technical knockout in the 7th round. Charles Sonny Liston has registered his most important comeback victory. I'll be talking, hopefully, with Liston in the ring in just a few moments. We're awaiting the official ring announcement from Sammy Stein.
The winner,
There's the ring announcer, Sammy Stein.
of the 7th round, one step closer to regaining his lost heavyweight title. The winner, Sonny Liston.
All right, the official announcement. Sonny Liston, winner by a TKO, round 7. Back in a moment.
Set up a $30,000 life insurance estate overnight. Only $12 a month. This young father did. He's insured with Allstate. When he was 26, he wanted protection for his family, but he didn't think his budget could take it. Allstate proved otherwise, without a lot of fancy insurance talk. It's Allstate's basic protection plan, a low-cost way to provide the cash your family would need if anything happened to you. You can count on it being there. Here's life insurance in the Sears and Allstate tradition of value. Are you a young man thinking life insurance? Talk with an Allstate agent. He sells your kind of life insurance. $30,000 worth, just $12 a month. You're in good hands with Allstate.
All right, as you can see, I'm in the center of the ring with Charles Sonny Liston, the winner by a TKO over young Henry Clark in the 7th round. The fight went as you predicted. You said it wouldn't go past the 7th, remember?
Right. Well, he came out, he was a little fresh. And I felt that don't mess with him while he's fresh. You know, when guys get fresh, they get sassy.
You're feeling pretty chipper.
Yes, I am. Feel real good. I felt that I was just warming up in the 7th round.
In other words, you feel you established that you can still go the distance, still have the stamina.
Yes, I do.
This was a tough kid. He took a lot of punishment.
Yes, he did, and he's a good fighter.
Sonny, we are going to run in slow motion that final round, or at least the last seconds of it. If you look down at our monitor right over there, and you can talk for yourself over yourself in action as we go in slow motion.
Well, I'd like to first...
There it is.
I gave Nat Fletcher from Philadelphia, John Natchez. He came all the way from Philadelphia to see me, to bring me a message from my old trainer, Joe Polino, which he's had a stroke, and I hope he's done real good. Yet and still, he's still my trainer, regardless of what happens.
Okay. Okay, now, let's get back to that slow motion. We're going to reset it because you wanted to get in that word to your trainer, which we understand. Let me ask you this. Well, all right, there's the reset. You were all over him there, Sonny.
Yes, I felt that I shouldn't let him get away at this moment.
That's the punch.
Yes, and I felt that I had him right there, so I figured I better go all out for him.
All right, we're going to come back here live into the center of the ring. Sonny, what's your aim now? Whom do you want to fight next, and whom do you think you can get a fight against?
Well, when I fought down in Los Angeles, what's the kid's name?
Oh, Billy Joyner?
No, I fought Billy Joyner, but the guy that fought Patterson.
Oh, Jerry Quarry?
Jerry Quarry. So he said he was willing to fight me. He just had got out of the hospital from water skiing thing, and so we're going to talk to him, I imagine.
All right, Sonny. You're going to fight Jerry Quarry if you can. If you can beat him, you're really back in the picture. Congratulations and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Charles Sonny Liston, back in a moment.
You know, it's a wild thing about today's super-duper razor blades. They're so sharp, they'll cut any vegetable better than anything you have in your kitchen drawer. And what's even wilder is that you take that sharp thing and run it up and down your face. We figured out how to make it a little less dangerous. We invented Rise, and we put a thin lubricating film into it that gets between your sharp, sharp razor and your soft, soft skin. So you're a little less likely to scrape yourself and irritate yourself and maybe destroy yourself on the way to a close shave. This doesn't mean you'll never do anything to yourself, but at least it'll give you a fighting chance.
All right, let's go to New York and Jim McKay.
All right, Howard, thank you very much. And so things, in a way, have kind of come full cycle in the world of boxing. Wasn't too long ago, if you think back, that Sonny Liston was kind of considered the superhuman being, the unbeatable man. Remember, you used to see photographs of his muscles and of his tree trunk-like legs. And then suddenly came Muhammad Ali, and now Sonny Liston back on the way up. Well, that's not the end of ABC's Wide World of Sports for today. A little bit of something very different from the sport of boxing right now. It's something that you saw earlier on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the World Water Skiing Championships from Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada. What you're going to see is the men's jumping, always the most spectacular event in water skiing. And first of all, an accident that had happened in a previous round, a spill for Tito Antoniano of Mexico, who was one of the favorites in this event. Here we go with the World Water Skiing. Tight glove that he uses right now is the next competitor, Tito Antoniano of Mexico. He had a real bad spill yesterday in the qualifying round. I'd like you to take a look at that right now. Watch what happens to him. Tito, one of the best in the world, and this will show you what can happen even to the best. Whoa. Really bad fall. Amazingly, he was still okay, but Stu, here it is in color slow motion.
Yes, and here we'll see just what was wrong, because even with the wild cut that these men do, they must coast over the ramp. They can't be pulled by the rope, and that is not what happened with Tito. He was still being pulled, and as a result, slipped sideways on the ramp, which caused his roll in the air, and then the inverted fall, landing on his back, skis scattering in every direction. A very hard fall, one of the hardest you can take.
Really a tough one, and Tito was taken to the hospital, checked out, and is here again today.
Tito bringing a total of 406.5 points into the final here. Very dedicated to the sport. As we said earlier, I think he came up here about a month ago to practice. Lifts weights to gain strength. Look at him go.
That's a nice one, particularly in view of the fact that he took a very bad fall in the preliminaries.
Sure did, and here comes that distance. 133 feet. And the Mexican flag flies high as Tito heads for his second run.
Tito figures very well in this jumping. His strong suit is tricks, and he's done very well in them with a second and a first in slalom, so he's already a world champion this time. And a nice jump, sitting down actually twice, losing quite a bit of form on his landing, but the rest was very good.
Okay, now here comes the final total for the young man from Mexico.
132 feet on the second jump, a foot shorter than the other one, but a point total of 839. Now, the next skier on the water is Jean-Jacques Potier of France.
Youngster from Juan-les-Pins on the French Riviera. Wouldn't be a bad place to be right now, huh?
No, and that was the scene of our first two world championships in 1948 and 49. Look out! A bad fall. His skis seemed to hang up or he got too far forward and all the way over in the air.
You could see he was kind of bent in half when he was still on the ramp there, wasn't he? Why don't we take a look at that in slow motion, see what happened to him. You made the point about Tito yesterday that he is still pulling on the rope. Is this something similar, Stu?
Well, in a slightly different way, Jim, in that he just got too far forward, and the impact of the ramp caused him to go over the front of his skis and go into that nosedive in the water. Now, his rolling over is intentional, so that he will hit on his back rather than on his face and stomach.
Still a pretty tough one for Jean-Jacques. We'll be back in a minute.
The exciting climax to this bullfight in slow motion in just 30 seconds. But first, a visit to your favorite carryout store for a different kind of completely unique experience. This special display is our way of celebrating the fact that Colt 45 malt liquor has taken off to become the #1 selling malt liquor in the world. Join the celebration with a 6-pack or 2 or 3 where you see this display balloon and take off on a completely unique experience. Now, back to the bull ring.
Colt 45 malt liquor, a completely unique experience.
Chuck Stearns, the 28-year-old from Bellflower, California. Man who's gone 119 miles an hour, by the way, in drag skiing on a straight course, quarter of a mile.
The world's record for speed skiing, and not only that, but very fine jump, and the world's record for number of attendances at this tournament. 6 attendances at the World Tournament, and 7 times national champion.
Chuck was in 3rd place going into this final round of jumping. Here's the distance on that one.
132 feet. Back up in the crowd now is Tito Antoniano on the left.
Here's a good look at Chuck as he heads for that ramp for the second time.
Very fine jumper and pulling a little bit harder. Better form in the air. Oh!
Gee, it looked like a beautiful jump.
It was. the landing in a real good jump, Jim, is a borderline fall anyway. And if you're just an inch or so farther forward, then you roll out of your keys.
And it's up break for Chuck Stearns. Let's see precisely how that happened in color slow motion. And as we do, his point total is 912 points, although there was no score on that one, of course. Here it is.
Now, everything's fine. Perfect form in the air. The landing is very good, but you can see just an inch or two too far forward is just enough to cause you to land too hard and roll out of the front of the skis. The look of amazement on his face when he landed in the water, Jim, tells us the same thing. It came as a shock to him, too.
Mike Siderhout in second place going into the final jumps.
Jumping on the men's ramp, though, he's in the boys' division and has done a terrific job of transition, as you can see in that first jump, Jim.
He's a strong-looking youngster.
He is. He's very strong.
Here's the distance on that one. 136 feet. Lady sheltering herself from the rain as Mike Siderhout prepares for his second jump, and with that long one in the bag, once again, he can just got to go flat out if he wants to on this and see how far he can go.
Yes, he can, because it would seem that that's the top jump so far in this competition. Now he's just going to try to stretch it out a little more. Nicely done. I don't know whether that will be. I know that a couple of times this year he has jumped exactly what he needed to jump to make something important for himself.
Okay, well, here's the final story now on Mike Siderhout. 145 feet, that's the best jump of the day so far, and a total of 955 points. Now comes the last young man left in the water, Alan Kempton of Tampa, Florida, the leader going into this final round, but he's really going to have to go some to match or surpass the jumping there of Mike Siderhout. Of course, remember, they add up what they had in the preliminaries to what they get here, so this could be a very close finish.
It certainly could. He's pulling out far. His top event is tricked, but he has really improved in the jumping.
Alan checking that right ski. It looked like the might have almost lost his footing in there or something.
Just checking to see if those runners are still on the skis. They sometimes can pull off.
There is Alan, as Stu had a word with him before the competition about his technique.
Well, first thing I think about is getting out wide enough for the jump and not too wide because of the prevailing tailwind we have. And second of all, I will think of cutting for the jump. I do not want to get too late or too early, or I would have to pass it.
That's right, and you're just allowed one of those, is that right?
Yes, you're allowed one pass at the jump and two jumps.
Will the prevailing wind help you or hurt you in your distance?
Well, I believe this tailwind would help me if I took good advantage of it.
Well, he thinks the tailwind will help him, huh, Stu?
There's a mixed opinion about that. Some people feel it's a headwind, like an airplane.
Well, here comes the distance, by the way, on that first jump of Alan Kempton's. It was 119 feet, so he has one more coming to him. That was well off his best. I don't know whether that's a pipe or whether he's got his lunch in there. Fellow watching the competition here as Alan Kempton heads for his second and final jump.
I think a lot of credit, Jim, should be given to the World Water Ski Union in Geneva and to Canadians Clint Ward, the tournament chairman, and the American Water Ski Association's Bill Barlow, Jr., who's been chief judge of this fine event.
Certainly true, and now here's Alan Kempton. Final attempt.
Last jump of the day, and he's going to make it a good one. He's finished everything else. This is all he's got to go, and he's going to give it all.
Whew, he sure did.
The bank up is semi-intentional. Due to the centrifugal force, there's a jump of glee there at the end that he did, but it is part of his form.
That looked like a real good jump. Here comes the official on it. 141 feet, a total of 959 points, and now the very precise computations here show that Kempton is the winner of this competition by a matter of 4 centimeters over Mike Siderhout, his American teammate. Third place to Chuck Stearns, also an American from Bellflower, California. Well, it sure couldn't have been any closer than that, could it, in the World Water Skiing Championships when they were held in Sherbrooke, Quebec. In just a minute, we're going to take a look forward to next week on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Hi, Ralph. Help you? I don't know. This isn't my day. Lost my favorite lure, the motor's running rough. And this pipe is the only thing that's biting.
Relax, Ralph. I can take care of everything. Here, you take a look at these lures. I'm going to go out and check your motor.
Oh.
This should take the bite out of that pipe.
Well, Sir Walter Raleigh.
Smells grand, packs right, tastes great. Can't bite, keeps fresh. So fresh in the pouch.
Relax in a man's world with Sir Walter Raleigh. A choice blend of Kentucky Burleys, extra aged to the peak of mildness.
Motor's running smooth now.
Thanks. And thanks to Sir Walter Raleigh, my pipe is smoking smooth now.
Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America.
Well, next week on Wide World of Sports, one of the nation's most important stock car races, the 1968 running of the Firecracker 400. Speed is the word to describe this race, as these late model cars average laps over 185 miles an hour and reach top speeds of more than 200. Drivers like A.J. Foyt, Davey Pearson, Cale Yarborough, and Mario Andretti will be driving on the high-bank Daytona International Speedway at Daytona Beach, Florida. Across the continent in Mexico, you'll see divers representing the United States and Mexico competing in the first international competition off the world-famous cliffs of Acapulco. Competitors will be diving from 85 feet in this dangerous and extremely exciting event. So next week, the Daytona Firecracker 400 stock car race and the International Cliff Diving Championships from Acapulco, both in color on ABC's Wide World of Sports. It's been quite an afternoon. You saw Sonny Liston really start his comeback by technical knockout over Henry Clark in the 7th round today. That's the story from here.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This has been ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Sir Walter Raleigh, America's quality pipe tobacco. Relax in a man's world with Sir Walter Raleigh. Sooner or later, your favorite tobacco. By Colt 45 Malt Liquor, a completely unique experience. And by Rise, the lather with a thin lubricating film that gets between your razor and your skin. So when you remove your beard, you shouldn't remove your face.
Starting Monday, July 15th, there'll be a musical happening right here every weekday afternoon. Paul Revere and Mark Lindsay are co-hosts, and top recording stars will be guests. Be where it's happening, starting a week from Monday here on ABC.